Grace, we're hosting a party at home today.
Huh? A party? What are you talking about?
A get-together with my coworkers. Make sure to prepare some food and drinks, okay?
Wait a second. This is way too sudden.
What are you saying? It's not even 4 p.m. yet. You can go shopping before I get back. There's plenty of time, right? Why are you so flustered?
Flustered? It's not that. Thomas, we have Alice here now, remember? You can't just spring this on me. I can't even go shopping or start preparing right now.
You always use Alice as an excuse, don't you, Grace? It's been 2 months since she was born. How long are you going to keep saying that? You're lucky to be a stay-at-home mom. Don't you think it's about time you start considering my needs too?
It's not an excuse. Having a baby is more than enough to consider. If people suddenly show up, Alice might get startled, and she could end up crying more at night.
You're overreacting. You don't need to be so uptight about it. Everyone said they'd love to see Alice. This isn't just a party. It's also a little celebration for her birth.
A celebration? But in the end, you'll just drink until the last train, right? And who's paying for all that? You've been spending way too much money lately, Thomas. Alcohol isn't free, you know. I've told you we're running a deficit every month.
Oh, here we go again. It's not that much money.
I've been covering that deficit by cutting from my allowance every month, you know. You never seem to realize that, do you? If people are coming over, then set an amount per person and collect contributions.
Why are you being so stingy? We're managing just fine, aren't we? By the way, they could end up hanging around after the last train, so be ready with a spot for them to crash. There'll be 4 people coming.
We don't have blankets and things for 4 people. Hey, are you even listening to me? Please, I'm begging you. Can you cancel this for today?
Why are you so against it?
It's not that I'm against it. It's just impossible. Lately, Alice has been super fussy, crying through the night, and it takes forever to get her to sleep.
You're exaggerating. You're way too overprotective of Alice. Didn't someone say that babies should interact with more people? Apparently, kids tend to calm down when they're surrounded by others. And who knows? Maybe she'll sleep better with all the noise.
That's just an unscientific rumor. If 4 unfamiliar adults suddenly show up, Alice might get scared and not be able to sleep. There's even a chance her night crying could get worse. Thomas, you're not considering her feelings at all, are you?
You don't need to be so uptight. Kids are more resilient than you think. Besides, everyone's excited to meet Alice.
I appreciate that, but meeting her during a drinking party isn't really the best way.
This is my house, so I can invite whoever I want, whenever I want. You invite your mom over too, don't you?
That's because she helps take care of Alice.
From my perspective, your mom is no different from my coworkers. Just another outsider. So it's the same thing. It's not fair for you to invite people and tell me I can't.
My mom is family, and your parents come over too, don't they?
Well, they're my parents. And let's not forget, I'm the one who bought this house. I'm the homeowner, the head of the household. So my permission is all that's needed for my parents to visit.
What is that supposed to mean? So you can invite your coworkers and family over, but I'm not allowed to invite my family?
I never said you couldn't. You invite your mom, so I should be able to invite people too. Why do women always seem to switch topics?
The one missing the point here is you, Thomas. We have a baby, and suddenly inviting 4 strangers over is really stressful and nerve-wracking for me.
You're so annoying. Anyway, my coworkers are coming, so stop complaining and get ready. You're always telling me to come home early, so here I am, coming straight back. Make sure you host them properly.
Thomas, it's almost 8 o'clock. You're still not home?
Oh, didn't I tell you? I'm out drinking tonight.
No, you didn't.
Really? My bad. I'm with coworkers right now, so I don't need dinner.
Another drinking party? You've been doing this nonstop lately. I already asked you to cut back for the sake of saving money, and you said you understood, didn't you? Why do you always break your promises so easily? Are you one of those idiots who think promises are made just to be broken?
Shut up. You were the one who flipped out last time, so I'm drinking outside now. Who was it that told me not to host drinking parties at home, huh?
That's because you guys were partying until morning. You didn't consider Alice or me at all, bossing me around until sunrise. Alice couldn't sleep, and the next day, she wasn't feeling well and cried the entire time. I think it's incredibly inconsiderate, especially since we have a small child.
Babies fall asleep when they're tired, don't they? It's not something to make such a big deal about. Besides, I'm stressed out because you're always complaining. I'm just blowing off steam by drinking outside. Why are you so mad about it?
Blowing off steam? That's exactly what's putting a strain on our budget. I keep telling you we're running a deficit every month. If you'd cut back on drinking, we could use that money for Alice's formula or diapers. You never even think about stuff like that, do you?
Shut up. I'm the one earning the money here, so don't tell me how to spend it. Seriously, what's your deal lately? You've changed so much since you had the baby. You used to be cheerful and always smiling. That's what I liked about you. Now you're just a hysterical nag.
A hysterical nag? And you're just an irresponsible jerk who doesn't care about your child or our finances. I'm seriously at my limit, Thomas.
What the hell's with that attitude? Listen, I'm out in the world every day dealing with people. I don't look as worn out as you do. You walk around with no makeup every day? Aren't you embarrassed? And those shabby clothes? You're honestly a total mess as a woman.
Don't say things like that. I don't even have time to take care of myself. I'm so overwhelmed taking care of Alice that I can't focus on myself at all.
Oh, here we go again, excuse queen. Plenty of women still wear makeup and dress nicely even after having kids. You're just bad at managing your time.
Time management? Kids don't work like that. Babies get fussy, cry at night. Most of the time, things don't go as planned. Plus, you're spending way too much time just chilling instead of helping me with Alice. Even on your days off, you barely spend any time with her.
I'm not hanging out. I'm blowing off steam. I'm tired from work every day. And even at home, where I'm supposed to relax, I've got a nagging hag and a screaming child. And you blow up at me just because I brought some coworkers over? Who do you think you are?
I blew up because you didn't even consult me beforehand. You just decided to invite them over without thinking about the fact that we have a baby. And I've told you, our financial struggles are because of you.
Our financial struggles are your fault. You're always buying Alice's clothes and toys. Way too much of them. All that organic and additive-free stuff. Just expensive junk.
That's for Alice's sake. Don't you want to give our child the best things possible? And I only buy what's necessary. I'm not wasting money. Your drinking is the real waste of money.
It's not a waste. I'm under a lot of stress at work. If I don't blow off steam, I can't focus on my job. And you being constantly grumpy and half-assing the housework and childcare just makes my stress worse.
I'm not doing things half-heartedly. I'm overwhelmed taking care of Alice every single day, and you never help out at all. You don't consult me about our finances, and you just spend however you want. Of course, I'm going to be frustrated.
You're just using the baby as an excuse to slack off on housework and childcare. Where did that happy, smiling person I fell in love with go?
I don't have the luxury to smile. I'm completely consumed with taking care of Alice every day, and you don't lift a finger to help. You don't even think about our finances. How am I supposed to smile in a situation like this?
You're just hiding behind the baby to avoid your responsibilities. You're a stay-at-home mom, so at least handle the housework properly.
Just because I'm a stay-at-home mom doesn't mean it's only my job to handle housework and childcare. I'm a human being too, and I need rest. And because of your constant drinking and wasting money, our budget is even tighter. Start saving more. We're barely covering Alice's formula and diaper costs.
Shut up. I'm the one making the money here, so don't tell me how to spend it. You've seriously changed. You use the baby as an excuse, you half-ass the housework and childcare, and the bright, sweet person you used to be is now constantly grumpy. It's exhausting.
It's because you're always out drinking, leaving me alone with Alice all the time. I don't even have a moment to myself anymore, and it's making me irritable.
You're just using the baby as a way to control me. You're a stay-at-home mom, so just do your job and take care of the house. Jesus, this is such a hassle. Whatever, just get your act together already.
What do you mean by get my act together? If you helped more with housework or childcare, I'd have a little more breathing room, you know.
You just need to handle housework more efficiently.
Excuse me? Efficiently? Why don't you tell me exactly how to efficiently manage housework in a home with a baby? We're a family. You could at least try to be more supportive.
Listen here. You and Alice are both living off me. You don't even have a job, so don't get too full of yourself. If I decided to leave you right now, your future would be nothing but darkness. And yet, you still have the nerve to complain?
I'm not complaining. I'm expressing my opinion. If it sounds like complaining, that's because you have a warped way of thinking.
Shut up. The fact that our budget is in the red is definitely your fault. You're a stay-at-home mom, so you should be able to manage it better. Managing the household budget is your job, isn't it? Don't blame me just because you can't handle your responsibilities.
Thomas, what's going on?
What is it? Don't call me while I'm at work.
I just checked the bank account. It only has $500 in it. Did you make a mistake?
No mistake. This month's living expenses are $500.
You've got to be kidding.
I'm not kidding. You kept nagging and complaining, so consider this your punishment.
What are you talking about? There's no way a family of 3 can live on $500. We were already running a deficit before this.
No, $500 is plenty. Now that I think about it, I was giving you too much before.
It's nowhere near enough. There's no way we can manage with that amount.
Don't say it's impossible if you haven't even tried. Figuring out how to make it work is a housewife's job, isn't it? And now you're slacking off? Are you kidding me? You've been using the baby as an excuse and half-assing the housework lately, haven't you? Stop trying to take it easy. It's getting ridiculous. Hey, Alice, where are you? I can't find you or Alice anywhere.
You're finally back. I bet you were out drinking again, weren't you?
So what if I was? It's my money. I can spend it however I want. But why aren't you here in the middle of the night? Did you take Alice out for a walk because she wouldn't stop crying?
We're at my parents' house.
What? Your parents' place? Wait, what? Why?
You said it yourself, remember? You told me to live on $500 a month.
Oh, that? Wait, is that why you ran back to your parents' house? You're such a useless wife. Seriously, how bad are you with money if you can't make $500 work?
The $500 was just the trigger. But ever since Alice was born, there's been so much about you, Thomas, that I can't stand anymore. I've decided I'm done putting up with it.
I'm the one putting up with everything. What? You think you're the only one trying hard here? You're just a stay-at-home mom doing nothing but taking care of the kid.
Actually, I've started working.
What?
After I quit my job when I got pregnant, I told you I'd earn a little money working from home, remember?
Oh yeah, I think you mentioned that. But didn't you stop after Alice was born?
We didn't have enough money, so I started up again a little while ago.
What do you mean you started again without telling me? If you have time for that, you should be putting more effort into housework. Stop serving me lazy meals. And look at this house, it's a mess. The kitchen is a disaster with food still left out. If you're going to run off to your parents' house, at least clean up before you go.
Honestly, I've stopped caring about cleaning up. After all, I'm not going to live there anymore. I'm divorcing you.
What? Divorce? Wait a second. I never agreed to that.
We've been in the red for months, and now you want us to survive on $500? It's impossible. Divorce is the only solution.
No, wait. This is way too sudden. Divorce? Are you serious?
It's not sudden, is it? I've been saying it's impossible for a long time now, haven't I? I've told you over and over that we're struggling financially and you ignored me. Or worse, insulted me. And despite that, I've been the one holding this house together, sacrificing so much. But you never appreciated any of it.
Well...
By the way, your mom will be coming over soon.
What? My mom? What are you talking about?
What do you mean, what? I told her I'm divorcing you. I explained everything and she sympathized with me. She even said, I'll do whatever I can to help.
Hey, you can't just go talking to my mom about stuff like that.
What do you mean? Why are you saying that now? You're the one who's been ignoring my feelings and selfishly forcing your own convenience on me all this time. Your mom mentioned it could be a bit late, but she's determined to set you straight. She said she'd beat you black and blue and make sure you take full responsibility. She was absolutely fuming.
Please, spare me.
This is the natural consequence of everything you've done until now, Thomas.
But divorce? What about Alice?
I'll raise her.
I'm her father, too.
Father? Since Alice was born, have you ever woken up to her crying at night? Have you ever changed her diaper? Fed her formula? You've done nothing, so stop pretending to be her dad.
But...
I'm not interested in hearing your excuses.
Give me some time to think.
It's too late. I've already made my decision.
Wait, just give me a second.
Well, now that I've let it all out, I'm feeling really sleepy. My parents are watching Alice tonight, so I can finally get a proper rest. No more being attacked by a controlling, arrogant husband who can't do anything. No more dealing with absurd, selfish comments that drive me crazy. And I don't have to see the smug face of someone who thinks he's a king just because he works. I think I'm going to sleep like a baby tonight, for the first time in forever.
Grace, I can't take this anymore.
What?
Ever since Mom moved in, I've been barely scraping by.
Oh, really?
Don't just say, oh, really? I'm begging you, please, come back. Mom took my bank cards and now she's forcing me to manage on $500 for the month. After paying the utility bills, I'm broke. I can't even afford proper meals anymore. Grace, I'm sorry for telling you to survive on $500. That was wrong of me. Please, I'm begging you, come back.
No way. You said $500 is enough to live on, didn't you? It's pathetic to complain so easily.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I wasn't thinking clearly back then. I just lost my temper. It's impossible with $500. The fridge is empty, the electric bill is overdue, and even bread from the supermarket feels like a luxury.
That's what I kept telling you, isn't it? We're in the red. We can't make ends meet. But who is it that refused to listen?
You're right. It was me. I was wrong. Last weekend, Mom asked me to watch my cousin's kids, a second grader and a preschooler, for just one day. And it was absolute hell. They wouldn't listen, did whatever they wanted, and I had to cook, clean up, and chase them around nonstop. Everything was so overwhelming.
So now you finally understand what it's been like for me to raise Alice and manage the house every single day?
Yeah, I really get it now. Parenting is so much harder than I ever imagined. You were dealing with all of that on your own every day, huh? And yet, I didn't lift a finger to help. I did whatever I wanted and said such awful things to you. I was the worst.
It's too late. No matter what you say now, it's far too late. You even called Alice a noisy brat, didn't you? Calling your own child a nuisance? That makes you unfit to be a father.
I'm sorry. Really sorry. I completely underestimated parenting and being a stay-at-home spouse. I can't even imagine two things at once properly. It's pathetic. I never even tried to understand the struggles you were going through. I was a terrible husband and an even worse father.
You're so lame. Even if you regret it now, it's too late.
Please, I'm apologizing. Just come back. I swear, from now on, I'll help with childcare and housework. I'll take proper care of Alice and give her the love she deserves.
Oh, how convenient. After mocking me and hurting me so much, now you're asking me to come back? Don't you think that's a little too selfish?
But I mean it. You might say I've changed, but I've genuinely learned my lesson. I want to see Alice again, and I want to live together with you as a family.
You know, Alice is looking so much more peaceful these days. She doesn't cry at night as much, and she's smiling a lot more. It seems like she's happier without you around.
Please, I'm begging you. Give me another chance. I'll change, I promise. I'll make sure to give you the proper living expenses. I'll cut back on drinking and stop wasting money. If you want, I'll even be okay with an allowance system. Just please, let me try again.
Excuse me? And how exactly do you plan to change? Anyone can make promises with words.
I'll take an active role in taking care of Alice. I'll handle diaper changes, baths, feeding, and even her baby food. Everything. I'll also share the housework so you can get some rest. I'll clean, do the laundry, and cook. And I'll work harder than ever to make sure you and Alice are truly happy.
Well, you can say whatever you want, can't you? But it's too late. My feelings for you have already completely faded. And it's not just about me. You deeply hurt Alice as well. That fact won't ever disappear.
I realized I can't do this without you, Grace. I want to see you again.
That's disgusting.
What?
Thomas, you might have been too drunk to remember, but when you brought your coworkers to the house, you were bragging about your nights out, weren't you? You even boasted about a woman you always requested some place you go to. You said you're smitten with her, that she's adorable, and that you're planning to divorce your wife to marry her.
Wait, did I say that? Are you sure it was me? Couldn't it have been one of my coworkers' stories?
Don't try to dodge it. After that, I went through your things, you know. And guess what I found? Business cards from that place, receipts, even gift receipts. You've never bought me a single thing, not even after I got pregnant, while I've been raising Alice and running the house. But for that woman, you dropped thousands on bags, flowers, and even a ring. You knew full well we were in the red, didn't you? And yet, you still did something like that. I was honestly stunned. And yet, when I bought just a little something for Alice, you called it wasting money. But spending tens of thousands on that woman? That's not a waste?
Well, It's just, she works at a place I frequent for business, and it was her birthday, so I thought I'd splurge a little.
It's better not to lie, you know. Was it really just her birthday?
No, well, it wasn't. I'm sorry.
Wow. So you only give your wife $500, but you can spend thousands on some other woman?
I'm sorry. I'll make it up to you with the winter bonus. I'll buy you something really nice. I want you to forgive me.
That's not the issue here. Besides, you were the one saying you didn't need a nagging hag like me or a noisy brat like Alice. I don't think avoiding a divorce is possible at this point.
I didn't really mean it when I said that. It was just heat of the moment talk, you know? I wasn't serious, believe me.
What exactly am I supposed to believe about you, Thomas? You looked down on your wife, financially punished her, and then splurged on another woman. You didn't lift a finger to help raise your own child, and even called her a noisy brat and treated her like a nuisance. You thought you were the most important person in the family just because you worked. So, what makes you think I can trust someone like that?
I'm truly sorry. I swear, I won't do it again. I'll change, I promise.
There's no next time, so feel free to stay the way you are. I'm not even interested in you anymore.
Do you really think you can raise Alice all on your own?
Absolutely. Life is much easier without someone like you around.
Reality isn't that simple. Alice's formula, diapers, clothes, and don't forget education costs. They'll only increase. Living expenses aren't something you can just ignore. Have you even calculated all of this?
Living without you is still far easier than staying with you. I have savings from before we got married, and if I work hard at my current remote job, I can make decent money. Besides, both my parents and even yours told me not to worry about money.
But you know, having a father around makes a big difference, doesn't it? Alice needs a father for her growth, right?
A child only needs a father if he acts like one. Someone like you is better off not being there. You'd only be a bad influence on Alice.
Don't say that. From now on, I'll do everything I can for you and Alice. So please, just give me one more chance.
How many times do I have to tell you? There's no next time. I don't trust you. My feelings won't come back, and honestly, you're just annoying. I'd really appreciate it if you just disappear.
The only people I truly want to treasure are you and Alice.
Oh, is that so? The only thing I want to treasure is a life without you. Oh, by the way, I haven't paid this month's mortgage yet, so make sure you pay it soon. Otherwise, the house might get taken away, you know.
Wait, hold on. You haven't paid it?
Of course not. There was only $500 in the account for living expenses. Until now, I've been covering the shortfall with my savings and income from working remotely. But since I'm no longer your wife, I'm done doing that. Just so you know, I left everything I was quietly managing undone when I left the house.
Wait, what do you mean by everything you were managing? Is there more than just the mortgage?
Yeah, you'll figure it out soon enough. For now, why don't you struggle a bit? You might need to pick up some part-time work after your day job. Short-term gigs are great because you get paid quickly.
Wait, what other bills are there? Tell me.
Who knows what they could be? You'll find out soon enough. Have fun.
I'm sorry. Grace, I was completely in the wrong. I'm truly, genuinely sorry. Please, just give me one more chance to be a family. I'm begging you. I can't live without you. I need you, Grace.
I'm the one who needs you the least, Thomas. You're just extra baggage. I don't need you anymore, so I decided to throw you away.
Throw me away? Don't say something so cruel.
But isn't it true? A controlling husband with a negative balance in his account has no value whatsoever. Well then, goodbye. After that, Thomas kept begging me not to divorce him, but thanks to my in-laws actively convincing him otherwise, we successfully finalized the divorce. I made sure to claim both alimony and child support. In the end, Thomas couldn't keep up with the mortgage payments and the house had to be sold. He tried to arrange a private sale, but since he'd already fallen behind on payments, it was eventually put up for auction. Afterward, he couldn't keep up with payments for his credit cards, subscriptions, or even utilities like electricity and water. So he started receiving a mountain of demand letters. Thomas panicked and began scrambling for money, but no one was willing to lend him anything. As a desperate measure, he reportedly begged the woman he'd been spending money on at the bar to return the brand name bags and ring he'd bought for her. Naturally, she didn't entertain the idea, threw him out, and even got him banned from the establishment. Eventually, he turned to payday loans, which landed him in a vicious cycle of debt. I've heard he's now struggling every day to pay back his debts, including alimony and child support. Even though it's his own fault, I do feel just a tiny bit sorry for him. When we first got married, I never imagined he'd turned out this way. I thought he was kind and reliable. But after Alice was born, his true colors gradually began to show. I'm determined to forget about that foolish, controlling husband as quickly as possible and focus on being the best mom I can be so Alice and I can live an incredibly happy life together. And as it turns out, I recently met someone new. He's a wonderful man who treats Alice with kindness, and we've even made plans to visit an amusement park together soon. There's still a long road ahead, but with Alice by my side, I'm excited to build a fun and fulfilling future together.